Good morning. Thanks for joining me for Rise and Shine Yoga today. And it's a beautiful fall day here. It's a little bit cooler, so we're going to invite a little more movement into our body, doing more warm-ups and fluid motions. In the fall, our bones and joints can get a little achier due to the changing uh, weather. And yeah, yoga is a wonderful way to help us ease into this season with less symptoms. So, yeah, we're going to do some things to help root our body, ground, and center. It's also typical this time of year to feel a little bit more brain foggy or have difficulty focusing, or even develop a little bit of more nervous tension. So, if you'd like to join me in a seated position, and it's always nice to sit on something. So you can sit on a cushion, you can sit on a chair. That's always an option available to you. You can always lie down. And if you'd like to start with bringing your attention onto your body and your breath. So to help you shift, to transition, if you'd like to close your eyes and just notice where you're at right now. Almost every moment is a different experience, and we feel differently. Definitely, we might notice those changes day to day, how we're feeling. So we're gathering, centering, and rooting down within ourselves. So if you'd like to envision for a moment, when we start to really notice things, when we come into the more of the present moment, our minds are focusing, we are shifting to a different place where it's like almost like I like to think it's like turning a light switch on. And that light switch is turned on now, and it's giving you that opportunity to really notice how you're doing, how you're feeling. Now we have more of a connection to our consciousness. And we'll just bring and imagine that light is shining down. It's kind of like this light of the sun, nice, gentle, warm rays. It's coming down from the top of your head. And it's just flowing right down your whole body. And with that, you're bringing your awareness down from your head through your neck, from your neck through your shoulders. And it's just you're being surrounded by this beautiful light. And it's coming down through your arms, through your torso, your back. And bringing your awareness right down to your seat, to your hips, to where you're in contact with the floor, your support. Feel that connection through your legs and your feet. Feel this sort of feeling around your body, this light getting brighter, as well as like in your body as well. And focusing here now on your breath. So we'll take a few slow, deep breaths in and out. So you can feel your breath expanding through your body. You can maybe even hear your breath, focusing on the sound as well. I'm just trying to lengthen out gently, increasing the length of your exhalation. making a little bit stronger so that you can indeed hear the sound your breath makes. And for this season, if we find the mind is easily distracted, that is a typical symptom, not being able to focus as well as we maybe typically can. There's reasons for that, but we won't go into that perspective right now. But if you're having difficulty, what we add to the breathing lately has been counting. So we count the length of the inhale, and you can pause for a second or two, and then we count the length of the exhale. So it could be like counting to 4 on the inhale and counting to maybe 5, even 6 on the exhale, pausing at the end of your exhale for a few seconds, as well as the top of your inhale. There's a slight pause. We'll do that for 2, 3 more breaths. So feel the breath come in and sink it down. And feel the breath release. This time, if you'd like to invite more movement into your head, your neck, we'll do a few gentle rolls, half rolls from side to side. Very nice, gentle position here. If you need to change your positioning with your legs, if your legs are starting to get any sort of achy feeling or feeling lack of circulation there, you can spread out through your legs. But as you flow through your head and neck, make it a little more flowing so that you start to feel this movement in the rest of your torso too. So I'm kind of, as I move my head to the side, I'm kind of leaning to the side a little bit. As I come down through my chin comes down, the belly might come in a little bit. Lift my ear in line over the shoulder. I'm lifting out so I can feel a little bit more movement, almost like a bit of a cat-cow positioning for as you slowly rock from side to side. Good. Now, as you take your head to one side, we're gonna continue that movement through the body. We're gonna lean over to that side, and then we'll circle forward, come to the other side, and your head might be a little tilted towards that side. Come back to center, and we'll move in the opposite direction, leaning over to the side, coming forward. Don't worry too much about the positioning of your head. Just keep it natural. And starting to feel this more in your torso, in your back. Maybe particularly your lower back and your hips. We'll do that a couple more times. And then we'll circle back to center. This time movement flowing through your spine, more like that cat-cow. So you're on the inhale, opening your chest, shoulders roll back. On the exhale, belly in, head coming down. We'll just continue that for a few more breaths. This is a great exercise to do at least once a day to help keep your back free from tension and strain, to help create more mobility in your spine. You can do it on a chair, so I recommend that. Especially when we heighten our awareness through yoga, we notice throughout the day when our body's getting stiff or tight, and then we can do something about it. We can start to move. Coming back to center, rolling the shoulders, opposite direction. And then we'll slowly take the hands behind for a moment. I'm just resting on my fingertips, lifting here. Feel a nice gentle stretch through the front of the chest. And then slowly release. We will bring these legs out of this position. I'm gonna shake them out a little bit before we do anything else. Bounce the knees up and down a few times gently. Shake out through the feet. And then you can extend your toes forward, pointing your toes, and then bring your toes in, extend out through your heel. I'll do that again. And we'll do some ankle rolls. Really loosening up those joints. So it becomes really important this time of year, especially as the temperature starts to dip, that we continue to move. We can, especially through the joints. So we can do this for the hands to the wrists, rolling out. And we'll shake that out. Okay, sitting up nice and tall for one more pose here, bringing your arms up. We'll be on the in-breath. You can reach and extend up. Keep breathing here, in and out. And on your exhalation, we're going to come over slightly over one side. If you need to bend that knee so that you can hinge right from your hips, you can do that. We're not going to stay too long. We're just stay here for maybe 1 or 2 breaths. And then on your next breath in, bringing your arms back up to center. Big breath in. On your exhalation, come over. Again, you can, if your legs are really tight today, you can bend your knee. You don't have to reach right for your foot. You can just comfortably place your hands wherever they land. And again, inhaling. This time we're going to flow with the breath. On the inhale, lifting up. On the exhale, coming over. And continue to flow. Not on my time, but your time with your own breath. And we'll do that 2 more times. Good. You might start to notice your body loosening up a little bit through the legs. Slowly release the arms. Take it back for a moment again. Lifting through the heart. Shoulders roll back. And then we'll slowly release that. We're going to bring our legs out of this position. If you want to bring your feet in and over to one side, come onto your knees, and we're going to start to move a little bit more through the hips. This is another wonderful warm up. So I'm circling the hips, rolling them slowly. Keep that flowing here. And then we'll switch directions. And as you bring your hips back, angle them more towards one side. Come back a little bit more. And inhale to come forward, and exhale, angle your hips towards that other side and come back. And keep doing that a couple more times. This time, inhaling, coming forward, and exhaling, going straight back as much as you can. Sink. Don't worry about the positioning of your body here. Just get comfortable. When you're ready, we'll slowly rise back up. We're going to curl the toes under, walk the hands in, and transition We're going to come onto our feet. We can transition with the squat. It's another wonderful pose for any time of year, but again, specifically this time of year. You can rock a bit from side to side. And then we're going to bring our feet down and centering your feet. So the toes are pointing forward. We're going to do a bit of forward bend with breath. As you inhale, you can bend your knees, look forward. As you exhale, keep your knees bent and sink. Inhale, you decide where you want to place your hands, if you like them on your thighs, lower down or on the floor, but bend your knees quite a bit. See, I'm bending quite a bit here. Exhale, I can straighten my legs a little bit, but they're still quite bent, and release. And just flow back and forth a few times in whatever position feels better for your legs, for your knees, for your lower back. And this time you inhale, plant, root your feet down, slowly rise up, coming up to standing. I'm going to center so you can see me here. Starting with the feet, a little bit of rocking back and forth, helping to develop that connection to your feet, to keeping that stable foundation. All starts with the feet here. And then we're coming up through the legs. You can soften the knees and then straighten the legs. As you straighten your legs, push your feet down. So when you're doing that, you're pushing your feet down, you're activating your legs just a little bit more. Good. Again, developing, this is a really good exercise for right now when we start to feel a little scattered, a little unstable. That is due to the changing. It actually goes back to the elements. It's an elemental change, and we're moving from fire and water to air and space. So from the Pitta dosha to the Vata dosha, that's the primary elements in our environment right now. So we're doing this to help ground us down. We do try to counterbalance the winds of change with grounding, rooting, feeling more stable in the body. So when you exhale, push down, root down, feel your legs get stronger, more stable. Bring your arms out to the sides. On your next breath in, reach up. And on your next breath out, we're going to come over to the side for a side bend. Keep rooted down through your feet and strong through your legs. Just a little bit active there to hold your body up. On the next inhale, come back to center, and exhale, other side. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale as you release your arms. We're going to widen out through the feet. We're going to come into the star. So straighten out through your arms. Turn your legs or turn your feet out slightly. And we're going to bend down to a squat. Bring the elbows in. Pause here for a few breaths. If you need to, come up, straightening, and then back down. And try that a few more times, developing a lot of strength and opening in the hips and legs. Good. Stretching upwards again. We're going to turn our feet. I'm going to turn my left foot straight towards the short edge of the mat, back foot in slightly. Keep rooting through the feet. We're going to move into triangle pose. So the legs are straight for this one. You're reaching up, trying to keep my upper body. I'm going to come right from the hips. Keep this open on both sides. Keep that, and then bring that arm right over your head. We're going to transition from triangle to Coming down over this front leg for a moment. So to do that, you can put your hands on your thigh as we face over the left leg. Lift your back foot up and then plant it down. We're coming into more like a standing lunge or warrior pose. Centering here. Let's lift up through the back heel and then plant it down. We'll do that again. Good. Rooting down. You can feel the action of rooting down through that back leg. And again, developing that stability. We're going to bring the arms up. Keep breathing here, softly bending that front knee. On the next exhalation, we're going to come over. And I'm hinging from my hips so I can keep my back nice and straight. Coming over, maybe not even halfway, maybe 3/4. And I'm straightening this front leg a little bit more. In the pyramid pose, good. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, let's see if we can come all the way down. As we come down, drop down through that back knee, we're in a lunge. Move back and forth a few times. So you can see my foot kind of in between my hands there. You can always use support. Just working on opening those hips here. We'll take 2 more breaths. If you needed to modify this pose, you can always come up, okay? This time we're going to come right up through that back foot or back knee into the more full lunge, and then walk your hands in towards the center of your mat, centering between your feet. We're transitioning to wide-legged forward bend and sinking down. Good. We're going to walk our hands over to the other side now. And we're going to move into the lunge. We can start with that raised lunge, the back knee lifted, pushing back with your heel. And come down. Again, if we need to get those hips loosened up a bit more without coming all the way down, you can be upright. I'm going to show you with my blocks what I meant about support. And bring a little something if you have. You can use your blocks here. And you can come right down. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. And then from this position, we're going to come back up onto that foot. We're going to walk it in actually until we can plant the heel down. We'll probably rise up from there. Get our stance here, get our balance. Don't worry if you feel a little unbalanced. We're going to get there. Again, by rooting, connecting downwards through the legs and the feet. That's it. Turning your hips to face over this right leg. Coming up through your back heel for a moment. Planting it down. Bending that front knee. When you're ready, if it feels hard, do that. You're probably a little too far apart with your feet, so you can bring your back foot in a little bit. We're going to come up. Move the arms. You can look up if you want. I'll test your balance a bit. If not, you can focus on a spot on the wall or even on the floor. From here, we're going to move into pyramid. So you bend forward, push your both hips back, try to center your core right in the middle between your feet. So there's like a line that comes out through the pelvic floor, and that's right through the center. And again, even my body feels a little bit stiffer and tighter today, just with the changing. We've here in Manitoba, we've dipped right low into the minuses overnight. So So that can be a big plunge, specifically because we had amazing weather, 20 degrees above Celsius earlier this week. So it can take our body a little bit of time to shift. We'll come back up and reach up. Good. From here, we're going to transition sideways on the mat. So I'm going to look at my back foot. I'm just going to line it up a little bit more so that my back foot generally lines up at the middle of my heel, straightening the legs here, turning sideways with my torso in between my legs. And then we're going to come up with the left arm and over with the right into triangle. You're going to have your knees slightly bent, but just make sure you're not locking it. The knee feels open. Rooting down through both feet. Good. One more breath. And then we're going to come up. We're going to turn our feet to face forward, turn them out, and then drop down into the squat. Breathing here for a few breaths. Good. Standing or straightening your legs, reaching your arms up. In the star, releasing your arms. We're going to bring the hands together. We're going to walk the feet in. Next breath in, if you'd like to reach your arms straight up again. And exhale, come over. Breathing in, rising back up. Breathing out other side. Good. Breathing in, straight up to center. Breathing out, hands down at your heart in the mountain. Keep that light of awareness, light of consciousness shining right through your whole entire body. So we've shifted our focus from the mental world solely. We are often just in the mental world, or from the outer world. We're coming in, we're feeling more connected, more rooted. See if you can feel that here and now in this posture. Okay, and then just making sure your feet are about hip distance apart, bending your knees. All right, and we're coming into the chair, so it kind of looks like that from the side. Okay, keeping your back nice and long, keeping open here through the front of your torso and the back. And bring our hands together. But see if we can come down a little bit more. And then we're going to do one of two things. We're going to move into a bit of a twist. So if you want to bring your right hand to your lower back, your left hand to the outside of your leg, just keep your legs strong and steady and aligned. They're not going to change position here. They're not going to go into the twist. Okay, that's one position, one variation. Another one is bringing the hands together and elbow comes to the outside of your knee. Looking to the right. Holding for one more breath. And then we'll slowly release. We're going to stretch up from that one. Open the front of the body a little bit as you lean back with your arms. Exhale, come into it again. Chair pose, deciding how you want to place your arms here. Looking to the left. And then you can bring as you bring your elbow to the outside of the knee, again, don't let that knee roll in. Stay steady here through the legs, centering your weight on your feet. Good, one more breath. And slowly release. We're going to come back to center, reaching up. And exhale. Hands together at the heart. If you're not already, I'm just going to step towards one side of the mat. Again, breath in, reaching up. Breath out, sinking down, full forward bend. Let your head hang here. Coming up halfway. And as you exhale, step your right foot back and then step your left foot back to come down onto your knees. Half plank pose. On your next exhale, float back with your hips. And then we're going to fluff forward again. This time I'm going to make my way down onto the belly. So if you want to tuck your elbows in at your sides, it's like you're doing a push-up, but you're coming right down. Isn't that nice just to come right down? And then coming up into the cobra or sphinx. Sphinx is the one with our arms out, supporting, finding that support under the elbows, working on strengthening the core by pushing down to feel that lift up through your belly, your lower belly, pelvis area. And hold that for a few breaths. If you've got that core strength and stability, then this one becomes a lot easier, the cobra or any pose. So working wherever you need to be right now today. If you're doing the cobra, you can come down on your next exhale and up on your next inhale. Lifting from your core. One more breath here. This time, if you want to slide your hands right underneath your shoulders, if they're not already pushed down, to lift up off your belly. We're going to go back again into child's pose. And we'll come up onto the hands and knees and move into downward facing dog. Let's walk the legs out here side to side. Alternately, if we needed to, we could do half dog. So half dog is from the knees, and I'm actually on my fingertips right now, reaching forward. That feels really nice. Decide which one you want to do today. And we're lifting up and off the wrists. So do that with your arms, your shoulders, and your back. You lift, lift, lift up through, right up to the hips. Developing a lot of strength through your entire upper body. We'll come down. And from here, I'm not going to get you to come right down into child's pose. That can sometimes create a headache because we want now the energy to flow up through the core center from the root to the crown. So I've come into hero's pose. I've put a couple blocks underneath. If you want to just come up to a kneeling position, that's also something you can do here. Okay. I'm just breathing, feeling that flow through my body, feeling the flow of breath, feeling the flow of energy. And it's a wonderful uplifting position after downward dog to let that energy flow up. Good. You can shake out your head a little bit, release through your shoulders. Reach back through your arms. So you can do this in a kneeling position as well. If you're tired of if your legs are getting achy in the hero's pose or knees, make sure you don't overdo it there. We'll do just a little movement with the arms reaching back. Okay, and if you can, bring your hands right together, interlace your hands behind your back, and we're gonna reach out. As much as you can, softening the front of your shoulders, pulling back. If you need, you can also use a belt for this one. So you're holding on to the belt, hands a little wider apart. As you exhale from the kneeling position, you can come down with your hips towards your feet, but at the same time, come onto your head. Lift your arms up in what's called the yoga mudra. And try it even just for a second or two, and then come back, releasing the arms. Let's reach back, opening here. You can do this again from the kneeling position. You're doing a very gentle camel. I'll put your hands on your legs and just think about opening your chest. See how I'm staying aligned here. You know, you don't maybe have a mirror to look at yourself, and that's okay. We don't really want to be externally focused. We want to feel that our body feels balanced here in a very gentle camel, or this pose. Starting to come into the reclining hero's pose. You can lift your hips here. And we'll slowly release. Let go there, roll the shoulders out. Turn the head gently from side to side. And then we're going to come forward into table. As we come into table, we'll do the cat pose, lifting your belly. As you inhale, look forward. We'll do this 2 more times with breath. This time, letting your body sink right down into child's pose. Breathing into your back. Reaching forward with your hands, walk our fingers forward until we can feel a bit more stretch in the arms, shoulders, and back. And come up. And we're gonna tuck our feet to the side, transitioning onto our seat. We'll stay here for one pose, and you might want to put a little bit of more support, helping you lift up and sit up nice and tall. Gonna bend the left knee. Sit up nice and tall. You can use your hands around your leg, pull back through your elbows, and that will help you lift instead of being kind of slunched over like this. You can use your hands, your elbows pull back, and it lifts you up and out. Centering as we take the left hand back, right hand across on the knee. We're helping to naturally wake up all those internal organs inside. Inwardly, that's what we're doing. We're helping to increase their ability to naturally detoxify. And we're squeezing out through the back. So it's wonderful to relieve any nervous tension that we might have picked up. It goes into the body, that tension, right? Any anxiety we might feel or anxiousness, it goes into the body. We're squeezing that out. With your next exhalation, slowly release, come back to center. So again, using your hands to help you sit up nice and tall. We're going to switch, bring the other knee up. And again, use that at the beginning of the practice. It's really important in the twist to be sitting up as tall as we can. So we're going to use our hands on our legs and then reach back. And breath here. Find a focal point. Your gaze is outward, but at the same time, it's inward. Or you can always close your eyes too. Focusing on my breath. It's slowing down. It's nice and steady. So I'm still in that rhythm of like maybe inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 6 or 7, 8. And then we're slowly coming back to center. Try to reach up through both legs. This is the staff pose. It can be interesting to try to sit up nice and tall here, especially when the body might feel tight. But after all the postures we've done, maybe you can sit up a little bit straighter, a little taller today. Put your hands down. And you're going to slowly release from that position. Actually, bend your knees before we come down onto the back. We're going to do one more thing here. Bend the knees quite a bit. This could be, I don't have my bolster handy, but you could also put a bolster underneath your legs. You can lift up through your arms to lengthen right through your whole entire upper body, right through your back, and then reach for your toes in a nice forward bend. You can always widen out a little bit through your feet. And just hold this for a few breaths. And that feels really easy. You can even walk your feet out a little bit here. You want to start off the pose though, every pose, in a very gradual way. So we don't go, full on as far as our body can go. When we first start out, we start off gradually, gently, and then over time, your body will release and you can go deeper. All right, then from here, we're going to make our way back up. You can slide your hands behind or beside you, press into them to slowly rise up. And we're going to sink down onto the back. So if you want to do that slowly, come onto your elbows, connect first with your lower back, then your mid back, roll through it until every part of your back touches right through your shoulders. Once you get to your shoulders, you can lift your arms up, place your hands behind your head, and just hang out here for a few breaths, helping to lengthen out through the back of your neck. Inhaling and exhaling here. I'm almost to the floor, almost there, and then releasing right down into the floor. You can reach your arms out to the sides, let your back release and sink down. And we're going to slowly rock the legs from side to side. Okay. Shoulders down. You can also turn your head in the opposite direction. That your legs are moving. You can flow with your breath. So inhaling, centering, exhaling, dropping. Do that a few more times. This time, if you'd like, you can bring your legs, they're back to center. Bring your legs right in towards each other, clamshell them together, and then drop them over to one side. You can use your hand on that side to support that upper leg to come down in whatever position feels good. Pausing here for a few breaths. And then on your next breath in, we're gonna bring the legs back slowly. And before you come onto into the other side, you can bring your knees in towards your chest for a moment. You can lower your feet down, spread your arms out, and drop over to the other side. Bring that left hand on the top of your leg. Turn your head gently to the right. Breathing here. Again, the breath is nice and slow and steady. You're helping your breath, helping it slow down. It's very gentle. Next time you inhale, let's slowly come back to center. We're going to root down through the feet, really press down actively through your feet. Press them down into the mat. They're going to probably, that'll help lift your hips up into bridge pose, centering your head. And on your exhalation, slowly roll down. And do that one more time. Inhale to lift. First, of course, rooting down. Exhale to release. As you release this time, let your back sink for a moment and widen out as much as you can. Every bit of your back to touch the mat. And then let's bring the knees into the chest, and that'll help even more if you rock a little bit. Feel your back getting wider here, moving into your mat. Breath here. When you're ready, we're going to slowly release. You can release the legs one at a time. And now stretch them out. You might want to place something underneath your legs to help support your lower back to release and sink down. Let go of your feet. Let them flop out. Let go of your arms. You can let them stay wide, wider away from your sides with your palms facing up. Going to soften everywhere. In our final position here, Shavasana. I'm going to take a few more deep breaths in and out. On the exhalation, really let go. So how we can do that is on your next inhale, pause and hold. On your exhale, release with sound through your mouth. Good. Do that one more time. Inhaling, holding your breath. Exhaling, release. Feel your whole body release. Feel your whole body relax. The way your breathing is flowing through your body sends messages everywhere to say, are we relaxed? And if your breath is nice and slow and steady, then that is sending the message to all parts of your body to let go, to relax, including your mind. So just feeling all the effects throughout your entire body. Again, all you have to do is just let go. Let your arms be comfortably heavy, shoulders sinking, head heavy, jaw releasing, down your body to your hips and your legs comfortably heavy, sinking. Your feet are really released. In this moment, there's nothing else you need to be doing. You're allowing your body to deeply rest and deeply restore your energy. And heal at the same time. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. And we'll start to wiggle toes and fingers. We'll start to deepen the breath. You can reach up with your arms and come into a gentle full body stretch. Reaching your arms, reaching your legs, and you're pointing your toes. Extending out through your heels. Maybe rolling around through your ankles, your wrists. And then bending your knees. Releasing your arms. And we'll slowly come out of our Shavasana. You can take your time if you feel like you need to do anything else on your mat. Any other posture comes to mind, then feel free to do it. It's good to follow the body's cues and signals for what you need to be doing to keep your body healthy. Through practice, you will become your best teacher of yoga. For now, I'm going to leave you here. So I'm going to roll over. And slowly come up. It's so wonderful to take that time for yourself, to find balance and harmony. So I'm hoping you're feeling that way too. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. And I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you again soon.